Just came past the horses here at Vantage. And we are on the road. Where are we on the road to, Josh?
Turkey camp.
Turkey camp.
Some thunder chickens.
Are you stoked?
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Man, this is gonna be freaking awesome. But we're about 12 miles to our turnoff. We're gonna meet Todd Barstad at his camp first before we head on up into ours. So, but we're trying to hopefully get there in time to get set up and maybe get up and locate some birds. Put some birds to rest so we can get up and
find them in the morning.
Yeah. So anyway, we're on the road. So we'll visit again here soon.
Set my alarm clock for 6 in the morning, but I jump out of bed about 10 till 4. I didn't get to sleep till 3 a.m. Thinking about gobblers and big ripe hens.
Hey, brother.
Morning.
What are you hearing out there?
You can hear them gobbling already. We probably got about 20 minutes till shooting light. It's time to get.
Yeah.
It's time to get in the woods.
Oh man, they're waiting on us, buddy.
Old Tommy Turkey sets the woods on fire, strutting and a drumming is burning with desire. I hit him with the yelp from my old mouth call, and he turns around and listens, fans his feathers out tall. Come a little closer for a real surprise. It's turkey time.
Surprise, it's Turkey Day.
Chalk white head and it's turning blood red. His beard's a swinging like a noose. This could be the end. 60, 50, 40, 30 yards full throttle. Then he makes a stand with his last big gobble. Mashed potatoes and gravy on a plate just right. Oh, it's turkey time. These crazy birds are ruling my life 24/7, 365. Spending my life chasing a dream. Long beards dragging, big hook spurs, falling for the sound of my sleek comfort. Running to me, sitting out by an old oak tree. Oh, it's turkey time. You done gobbled your last gobble, Mr. Tommy Turkey.
hell, dude?
6 jakes.
What a deal.
6 jakes flew down, literally like 5 yards from us.
Yeah, so this morning we're set up here because there's a tom up on this hill over there chuckling away, and all of a sudden everything broke loose behind us, and they flew over the creek and went by. We thought they were hens at first, but turned out to be a bunch of jakes, and they
Little itty bitty beards.
yeah, I couldn't get in on them, so. But we still got one across the creek here, and we're going to go across the creek and
Try to call them in. At
Pair
least
it
get them
up.
close enough.
But hey, it was fun. It was fun.
Oh yeah,
this
it was
morning.
awesome. I got some good pictures of those birds, those 4 that walked like 8 yards from us over there. I got probably 30 or 40 pictures of them.
Sweet. All right, let's head over there.
Oh yeah, let's get on the road.
I leave early in the morning. Taking in the sunrise. I'm feeling everyone should know.
He's hot.
Hear him calling from the treetop. My girl laying on my lap. Hoping he gets close enough to make him take a nap. Yeah, I said I'd have some. Promised my mom I'm still sitting here waiting on Tom. Hey, what you got to say, Scott?
I see the big boss coming, always blowing out his chest.
Man, I love that.
The ladies all adore him, they think he's better than the rest.
Now we all came to see the show, and he's strutting on the hill. It'd be a shame to end it, but you know good well the will. Yeah, I'm feeling kinda lucky. It might be the day.
There he goes, heading off the other way.
Waiting on Tom, he's always running late. Never gonna make that early morning. Waiting on Tom.
I'm making every call, I can almost see him there hanging on the wall.
I said I'd have supper, I promised my mom, but I'm still sitting here waiting on Tom. On a creek away down in the hollow is where I get the sneak.
In the middle of the woods or in an open field,
Just as long as I seal the deal. He's always running late, never gonna make that in the morning.
waiting on Tom. I'm making every call, I can almost see him there hanging on the wall.
I said I'd have supper, I promised my mom, but I'm still sitting here waiting on. Been waiting on Tom.
He's always running late, never gonna make that early morning wait.
Waiting on Tom, I'm making every call. I can almost see him there hanging on the wall. I said I'd have supper, I promised my mom, but I'm still sitting here.
I'm still sitting here.
We're still sitting here waiting on Tom.
There was at least probably 4 at least toms just destroying, calling us back. And all of a sudden they all shut up all at once. Every bird in the woods just shut his mouth.
I thought, dude,
I thought that was game on. I thought we were gonna go home with at least 1 bird right there.
man, that was
Even that-
crazy. We had
Jake, probably is what it was, back here.
we
He shut up at the same time.
we stop here and get out and we call, And right away across the hill over here, and down here, well, first we had a hen answer over here. And up higher was a gobble. And then all of a sudden, up this hill where we went up, just freaking exploded.
Yeah, there was like at least, I'd say a good at least 4.
And then
it was crazy. And then they all of a sudden,
we get set up
every single
and
bird shut up.
yeah, we get set up and it just nothing.
Even the one down here, the thing 600 yards away, she stopped talking too.
So yeah, if anybody's got any suggestions to tell us how to take a tom, then much appreciated.
It's so frustrating. There's a damn turkey wing right there on the freaking
Yeah.
hole. No turkey feather.
Good stuff though, huh?
Got 2 more days. And this evening. It's still early afternoon. It's still early in the hunt though.
This is, yeah, and you know what? This is our first time turkey hunting. So to have 6 jakes walk by
down there.
and getting all these things to gobble them, and I tell you what, it's exciting though.
It's the most frustrating roller coaster of my life.
Well, maybe for the weekend. I think
Yeah.
your diagnosis is probably a steeper roller coaster.
But
Anyway,
my legs
all right.
are doing good, and I'm able to move around still pretty good. Surprised.
Well,
It's kind of hard getting up that steep ass little hill right there though.
I say sojourn on, huh? Let's do it.
Let's go. Breath.
Well, opening day of turkey season. Been waiting 2.5 months.
Yeah. Last minute, got a opportunity to hunt some private property. Roughly awesome 700 acres to hunt.
Thanks to Mr. Paul Soa and Jerry, and you know, a real good thanks to Todd Barstad of the Fish and Game down here at Lincoln County. Crazy, you know, 3 months ago I was talking to Scott Whitman, Fish and Game up in the Cedar Woolley area, and he asked, you know, if we ever considered coming to do some turkey hunting. I didn't think about it until I started talking to Buddy Wayne and Josh here, and we said, you know what, let's give it a shot. So I gave old Todd a call about 2.5 months ago, and he was on board instantly, trying to give some good advice of where to come over here in the Colville area, find some property to hunt on. And last week he told us to give old Paul a call and lined us out some property, come up here and hunt. And man, this is freaking gorgeous.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we pulled in yesterday afternoon at about 6:30, and chatted with Paul and Jerry, got our tent set up, and man, there was turkeys everywhere. So we're excited.
Yeah, we woke up in the morning and you could hear turkeys everywhere. It was kind of pretty much like shooting fish in a barrel, like which way do you want to go?
Yeah,
So
I mean they were calling down there. There was an owl over there. There was turkeys calling behind us over here and down over across the way there, and so we just figured we'd strike out. It's still dark, and so we headed across the way down here where there's a field open down here. So
And there's a big hill on the backside of the field, so a lot of the birds were roosting up in the trees behind us. So we were set up focused on one gobbler right across the road. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him to come in, but as soon as we started calling to him, there was the whole woods behind us just erupted. There was I think roughly 6 jakes. I think 6 is what we saw. There could have been a couple more that we didn't see. But there were 6 jakes that dropped in no more than probably 10 yards behind us off the roost. Came in and just landed right behind us, and hopefully we got some pictures of them. I think I was able to get pictures with my GoPro.
yeah, well this is my first time turkey hunting, so I the way that they're making this little, what do you call that sound? A little chirp pop sound.
Oh yeah, they're
Little like
clucks, almost like a cluck.
Yeah, it's like a little peep or something, like cluck peep. But anyways, I thought only the hens would make that sound. So so we got toms coming down off the one side. We got turkey gobbling up on the other side, and we didn't know which way to point. So I figured I'd turn around and face the ones coming off the hillside over here, and Josh was still pointed on the hillside up over here, and he's giving me a play-by-play about, oh, here comes a tom down the hill. There's another one coming down. Well, I can't see this, but I could see turkeys walking down off the hill, but I thought they were hens. So I spun around thinking, we'd see the 2 turkeys coming down off the hill and get an opportunity, but they hung up. Next thing you know, we hear wings a beating and
birds hitting the ground right behind us.
Like a big thump. And I thought, oh man, and Josh was like, don't move. So I'm sitting trying not to move, and
we knew they were close, you just didn't know where they were. I mean, you knew they landed almost right on top of you. So you didn't want to spook them off just in case there was a big tom in there or something.
So right out, we're expecting them to come off to our left. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a line of turkeys coming, walking up, and I'm like, Josh, look to your right.
Yeah, and they were like 8-10 yards maybe at most, just past the end of the bushes.
Just creeping along, and I still thought they were hens, because it's still, it's kind of foggy and misty on the ground, and kind of cool looking actually, and pretty soon Jake says, hey, the lead 2 have beards.
Yeah.
And
that's when we realized they were jakes instead of hens.
So by this time though, they're just moving straight and have paid no attention to our
decoy setup, our calls,
nothing. They just moseyed on, and then I tried to get a range on them, and the grass was in the way, so I couldn't get a good range. Or I think we could have got that lead Jake, but I was just too afraid to take a shot, not knowing how far away they were and whatnot. So that was pretty exciting. Good morning.
There was just a gobble back over there.
So then
Thunder chickens.
We went up and messed with the tom that was clear up on top, and couldn't get close enough to him. And then we just took a drive all the way around Paul's property and stopped at a place up here and started calling. And oh my gosh, the trees were alive with turkeys. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Pretty sure I saw a tree gobble at me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of there's probably, we'd say, at least 4 birds you could hear gobble back. Literally probably no more than 60 yards.
That was
to the top of the hill, 60 yards. But they were just hung up right on top, right on the ridge. So, I mean, we played and played with them. There was one gobbler that was fired up. Every time I started to call, or every time Terry started to call, he would just cut you off, and he was all over it. He didn't want you to say anything. He just wanted to scream.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to get a turkey. I thought for sure they were going to come down. But like I don't know what happened. It's like somebody flipped a switch, and the ones above us just went quiet. The ones across the road went quiet, and nothing. We couldn't, nothing. So I don't know what the secret is to get those guys to come down. But we got what? Tonight?
All day tomorrow. And then
Sunday morning, and maybe into the mid-noon if it's looking promising. So we're gonna leave this place with some turkeys. I just know it.
At least one. I'd be happy to be a long fellow or long beard on the ground. Just one.
But we're enjoying it anyways, man. This is a beautiful property. The weather turned out this morning was just
it was chilly this morning. It was probably about 35.
Oh man, it was just cold.
And the air would not just lift. It was just sitting on the ground.
Yeah, cloudy, foggy, but
turned out to be
couldn't ask for a better afternoon. It's just beautiful out here. So, and then I guess we got another guy, Justin, coming in tonight. Maybe 2. I'm not sure if Paul said 2.
I think it's 2. It's Justin and I don't remember his name, but it's I think it's his friend or uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle. Or,
Two more guys coming in. They're really experienced turkey guys, so we'll find out. We were supposed to call Todd, no cell service, and find out how they did, but we might take a drive again and try to give him a call, just see how they're doing and whatnot. Try to get them to come up tonight and sit around the fire.
Yeah,
so.
their turkey camp wasn't set up too far.
Yeah, so. Anyways, we'll get them.
We got another, technically 2 days. We got tonight, all day tomorrow, and then Sunday morning, so. Got a good 2 days of hunting left. Shouldn't have a reason not to put a bird on the ground. Probably could have had a shot at those jakes this morning.
Anyways, I guess you noticed, you look, we're sitting in these chairs. Tell us why are we sitting in these chairs?
I was, well, both of us were military, prior service, Army, and unfortunately, the both of us have been diagnosed with ALS. I was gracious enough to get mine through the Maple Valley Rotary Club, and you got yours through the
independencefund.org.
Mm-hmm.
So, people out there are just so generous to donate money. The independencefund.org, last I heard, there were over like 50 million or something like that to provide these chairs so we can get out and do what we're doing today. So without people donating for this kind of stuff, I mean, we'd be stuck on the side of the road just watching everything go by. So
I definitely would not have been able to walk around and go in the areas we went into this morning by any means.
Yeah,
I would not. I mean, we went from the road back into the woods probably half a mile, if not even a little bit more.
I mean,
I wouldn't have been able to walk out there.
Yeah, you'll see through this video the terrain we've been through, and we've been up and down and carrying our gear, and so without this kind of stuff, and we're just happy and fortunate, that like people like Todd, who's willing to, and Scott, and all those guys at the Fish and Game who are willing to give their time to help us to find areas and meet people like Paul and Jerry and everybody else who's willing to open up their property so we can get out and actually find an area to hunt. So it's difficult. It's difficult finding a place to get out when you can't go into the
thick, hard stuff where a lot of people don't want to go.
Yeah, so I mean, we're just fortunate. I mean, of course we've been diagnosed with ALS, but I feel fortunate.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. There's an old thunder chicken back behind us somewhere.
You probably couldn't hear that on the camera, but we just had a turkey gobble back here, so that's what keeps us really motivated right there. So
yeah, it's an awesome opportunity. It's kind of crappy the circumstances to get to this opportunity, because I'm sure if I was healthy, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be able to come out here and hunt on this ranch or on this property. But you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah. So, but anyways, right now we just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody, the ALS Association, the Fish and Game, and the private landowners who allow us to go out and have these opportunities. It's just great. So, well.
And for those of you who are watching, clean up after yourself.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of trash on the side of the road over here, unfortunately, but anyway. Well, we're going to get after it tonight and see what we can do. So we'll be back.
Hopefully with 2 birds on the ground. Harry, you do realize I've rolled this thing once already, right?
Counting down the days to that time of year. I can't believe it's finally here. 100 more miles of driving to go till I see the hills of home. Got everything I need in the back of my truck. Now all I gotta do is get the job done. sun comes up and the woods come alive, longbeards are gonna die. Longbeards are gonna die. Red, white, and blue heads, beards, and spurs. When he flies off the limb, I'm gonna rock his world. When the day is done and the sun goes down, another turkey's on his back in a grave he's found. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die. A yelp and a cut from my old slate call. He gobbled back, I knew it was on.
End of day 2.
Woke up late. That's
We
number
did.
1.
We did wake up late. We had a huge plan. We put some turkeys to bed last night, and we haven't told that story, have we? About the turkeys coming and running around across to you.
No, I think because we did the video earlier in the day.
Right. So yesterday afternoon, we followed some turkeys or watched them down there, and long story short, we had 6 turkeys come within 15 feet of Josh, and he couldn't get his gun up and turn sideways because there's a tree in the way. And they walked right by him and stopped and looked at him and waved, said hello, and
Asked me if I had a beer and just kept on walking.
oh my goodness. So this morning we had a huge plan. We're going to get up because they actually roosted right behind the tent, probably about 200 feet behind the tent in a tree just down the hill. So we had a plan to get up bright and early, still dark, and get out there and catch them when they came out of the tree. And
All the way down to the apple tree.
so I set my alarm on the phone and ended up dying in the middle of the night, so we didn't get up early. But
It's all right.
we went out and saw some new country and drove up north to Turk, and didn't see much action this morning, but we got a hold of Todd Barstad and gave us some real good pointers on how to locate some of these turkeys and how to get on them. And of course, you know, he said nothing's foolproof, but we actually got down there, and man, we got into some turkeys today, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. We were cruising up one of these little back roads. Actually, you can probably see it on the camera. Back there, directly behind us, that big hill. We were cruising back over there, paralleling it on just a little road, an old logging road. And Terry's just cruising around, and I just happened to look up in front of us, just past him, just over his shoulder, and I saw like a quarter of a circle. I didn't know what it was, so I was like, hey, stop. So we stopped and was looking and looking and looking, and sure enough, I kept looking, and he's still in the spot yet. I only had a sliver about, I don't know, from where we were looking, about 70 yards, 80 yards out. It was only about 5 or 6 inches wide, about a window. And I was looking and looking and looking. I kept seeing something move. Sure enough, as soon as he cleared, he came outside a little bit, and I could see his gorgeous, just full fan. I swear that bird wasn't missing a feather on his tail.
A big, gigantic tom turkey.
Yeah, huge
come out.
tom.
Man, I'm telling you, he was gorgeous. We got excited, and we're thinking, man, we're gonna have some turkey dinner.
Yeah, we got set up on him. We backed off. He didn't see us. I don't know how. He didn't see us at first. We backed out a little bit, about 10 yards or so, just around a little bend. Set up. Set the decoy out. I mean, she was pretty, just sitting right in the middle of the damn sun on the trail. And he was strutting his stuff, and I kept peeking back and looking over, and he could still see him. He was still sitting there, standing there. Terry got set up with his crossbow and the sticks. And then, I don't know, I think he gobbled at us like twice, and then just started heading up the hill for some reason. So Terry being Terry just damn took a foot chase after him after we walked up, about another 500 yards or so, and tried to set up on him again where we thought he was, where we heard him gobbling. But by the time we got up there, because we were taking our time, and that bird wasn't, he was gone. Set up there for about 20 minutes or so, and then heard him gobbling, and I backed out and went and got the chairs and come back, and Terry's gone.
Yeah,
And that's where he's going to pick it up, because I don't know what the hell happened.
He left me set up in a spot, and I heard him above me, so I decided to crawl out and go on. And it's a long, drawn-out story, but long and short of it is I fought my way up this hill and kept trying to get in front of these turkeys, And every time I thought I was right in front of them, they would be, the first time about 15 feet, they came up over the hill and caught me. And away they went again. So here we go again. They're feeding along, and eventually I got above them the last time. This is number 4 that I was within 20 yards of these turkeys. There was the big tom, about 3 or 4 nice jakes, or the one had a really long beard, so I don't know if you call that a jake or not, but and then about 5 or 6 hens, and man, they kept catching me, and I finally got set up, and about 20 minutes sitting there watching them, and I actually got a long shot off with a crossbow, but I could never get the tom right into, he was always just out of reach. And so I think our plan is tomorrow morning we're going to get up, and we're definitely going to set 2 phones, and we're going to get up at 4 a.m. so we have plenty of time to get up there in the dark and see if we can't meet these guys for breakfast.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah,
But
about a mile in.
Yeah, but it turned out to be a fantastic day. Warmer today, just gorgeous. We had a good time.
Sun was out all day. These damn bugs I could do without.
Yeah, so. But yeah, it was a good day. Good day. We had an opportunity to speak to our families, and you know, we're so happy that they get an opportunity to let us come and do this, and but we miss them, and so thanks families for letting us get up here and do this. And
we're gonna go call them again here in a little while.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you and I got to meet, because we're having fun with just these chairs. I mean, we've been up and down. If you could just see how steep these hills are, I mean, this has been a lot of fun. So.
Wearing out batteries fast.
Yeah, it's been a good time. But tomorrow, hopefully, we're sitting in front of you with a turkey. So
that would be awesome.
Right now, we're gonna get up. 2, 3, 4.
At 4's max.
Yep. So, anyways, we're gonna get up and go make some burgers and get some stuff packed up, so we're ready to leave in the morning and then go call our family. So.
Yep.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Put our birds tomorrow.
Birds tomorrow.
Up against a tree, down the barrel of a gun. He don't know what's about.
They're a really pretty ugly bird.
It is. Their head is, but these damn feathers are gorgeous. The
Yeah.
colors and his wings and stuff. They're freaking. That's pretty.
Yeah,
But that damn head that's a face only a mother could love easily.
but it's cool.
So it's Sunday, last day, and Josh closes the deal. Closes the deal, sir. What do you think?
Filled 1 out of 2. About an 80-yard shot across the ravine. And I thought he was an old, mature bird, but shows my inexperience here.
Well, that's just awesome that you got it, man. That's just great. Yeah, we got up at 4 a.m. and hiked up to the hill. And we could have slept in and just rode to the end of the road, huh?
Yeah,
Because we didn't see anything this morning.
I saw a couple of hens this morning walk by me, but obviously nothing I could shoot.
Right on. Pretty awesome, dude.
Keeps a burning and my wheels keep a turning, chasing after the kings of spring.
Well, obviously we're not in the woods anymore. We're not in Fruitland camping. We're back in Puyallup.
Beautiful country out there.
Just recapping on the last day since there was no real video. And unfortunately we never got any good video while we're out hunting, but Mr. Josh over here was lucky enough to harvest a Jake turkey.
Me and Terry, we set up in the morning, and in the morning it was real slow. We sat up there, I don't know, it was about 3 hours. Roughly,
Yeah, well, tell them what time we got up.
Oh,
What
yeah.
time we got out there.
We woke up at 4, and we probably left camp probably around 4:35, 4:40 at the latest.
a.m.
Yeah, and once we got out, we got set up. Terry decided to climb this crazy ass hill up above us. So
That was hard. We had a great plan. We put these turkeys to bed, or we thought we had. And
he's pretty close.
we had a pretty good plan.
Yeah, we had a solid plan. It was kind of a Hail Mary last ditch effort to try to put a bird on the ground.
But, the one thing that we've learned though is from watching other videos and our own experience now. We got 2.5 full days of turkey hunting under our belt. That turkeys, either they can't read the script or they just ignore it, because they certainly didn't.
Yeah, they definitely don't follow your plan.
Right.
They don't come up where they should come up either.
Nope.
Unfortunately. Otherwise, this would have been a trip full of turkeys on the ground. But
yeah, because we were like we've talked about before, we were in turkeys every day, and that was so fun. But
yeah,
that morning we get down to the field, we head down the road. I split from Josh. I was gonna try to make it up to this hill where I thought these turkeys were bedded, and it took sheer willpower to not give up and get up there and crawl up there and sit down. I heard them gobble twice, and then that was it. Not a word. I was up there, an hour?
are you up there long? Well, I don't know how long it took you to get up and back, but we split up for about roughly 2.5 hours.
Right, and then I could hear turkeys gobbling around the corner, so I thought, well, I'd better get down there and check on Josh, so Josh can...
Yeah, Terry got up to me. Well, before he got up to me, it was a slow morning. There wasn't much of any action going on. There's a couple gobbles up the hill from me, up to my right. But right as I was, fighting the losing hope and just sitting there, a hen comes up in front of me. She just kind of mingles around and wanders around about 60 yards away. And then just about 5 minutes before Terry got there, there was a hen that had just walked right behind my chair. She wasn't more than 3 feet from me whenever for the longest time, just breaking branches and making all kinds of noise. So I was like, all right, well, maybe there's some hope. There's still obviously birds in the woods, and they're just not making a whole bunch of noise. So Terry gets up to me, and we're sitting there BSing for a little bit. And I think it's about 8:30 at this time, 8:30 in the morning. And he comes up, and I heard birds gobbling. I heard it was a pretty large group of birds, I thought. It was gobbling probably like 700 to 800 yards back, well, actually in front of us. And Terry said he was going to split up and head back to camp and go start tearing down. And I knew in my gut, I had a gut instinct that I should talk him into, another like 20, 30 minutes of, let's go up this road a little bit further. Because it went back about probably about another quarter mile back and around the little hill. And I knew I should have talked him into it. And sure enough, I get up there and I hit my owl call, and I heard birds just going nuts. There was 8 birds, and then there was one off back in the distance they were gobbling back and forth at. So I knew I didn't have to use my calls too much. I just hit my owl call once to find out which direction they were and try to get a distance on them. And sure enough, I got close enough, got set up to where about the end of the road was, or I thought was the end of the road. And there's a bunch of small little like fingerlings trees, just little ones like about 6 foot tall and about as big around as pinky. So I was like, this is a perfect spot. I'm gonna set up right here. Well, when I set up, I was looking down a hill, down a ravine right in front of me. And this ravine was the exact direction they were at, so I figured that they would be coming in.
Let me shoo the ducks away. They're probably making too much noise. Keep going.
They're gonna come right back.
Sorry about that.
So
we got ducks in the yard.
The birds, I got set up and I was like, my only shooting window is about, I don't know. I figured that when I first set up, I figured it was about 80 yards, but I went over to my buddy's house to drop his generator off, and we were looking at distances, and I think it was right around 65, 70 yards. I mean, 10 yards, give or take. But it was about 65, 70 yards out of a window about 3 feet wide to shoot through. And sure enough, I treated it as, I hit my owl call again. Once I got set up, I hit my owl call again, and I had my diaphragm call in my mouth still. So I was waiting, hit my owl call after I got set up. I had to back up a hill a little bit so I could face down into the ravine far enough with my shotgun, because I didn't have my sticks set up on the ground. I had them set up on the platform in front of my chair. And I was looking down, and I was like, all right, I can get down, and I can shoot about, 2/3 of the way up this hill if I had to, but that was clearly out of range. I gave them a little yelp, about 3 or 4 yelps, and those birds came running. They all gobbled back, and they came running right in. I saw them cross the field. There was a meadow, a gorgeous green meadow, probably about 250, 270 yards away.
Which, let me interject, which, if you've turkey hunted before, you know how exciting that is.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you haven't, you have no idea how exciting that is when they come running.
Oh, yeah, these birds came in hot. I had my yelp just 3 or 4 times, and I saw 4 birds cross the field coming right at me. And we were told that, usually after your second or third series of calls, the birds have you pinpointed. So therefore, keeping that in mind, I definitely laid off the calls a lot more than we had in the previous day and a half, roughly. Just because we wanted to keep them hot and wanted to keep them coming in. But I think that was some of our issue, was we were overcalling, and those birds pinpointed us, and they got eyes like an eagle. They can see. So I hit my yelps and saw 4 birds cross that meadow, and I knew they were coming right at me. So they kind of circled around out to my left and then came right in front of me. And my window was right there. My bead was dead on for that window when those birds came down. And for some reason, everything worked out right. Those birds walked in. There was 2 toms that walked by. 2 younger toms, I would assume, because they were all grouped up. There was 8 birds total. So there were 2 birds that walked by, and then there was a gap. And I remember Terry telling me that the big tom was always hanging out in the back of the group. So I waited for about another minute, 2 minutes maybe at most, and then I saw movement to the left, right inside that shooting window, or right to the edge of that shooting window that I had. And so I figured, I saw this old crusty looking tom come out, and sure enough, I put my bead there and took a Hail Mary shot like it was the last day of the season, and light was fading. So I took the shot, and at first, whenever I first squeezed the trigger, my shotgun for one surprised me. So it jumped out of my hands, jumped off my stick, ended up barreled down in the mud. And as soon as I shot, all the birds gobbled, and then they all swarmed on top of the bird that I didn't even know was down yet. I had shot me a Jake that I thought was a big old tom. Where he had stopped, there was a branch coming down right from his, right from where his beard was, where his beard is, and I thought it was an old mature tom, and so I took the shot. It was about 65, 70 yards. I took the shot and he was down, and I had no idea at first. There was no flopping, there was no nothing. The other birds had all swarmed him. And at that time, I had counted 7 birds on top of him, pecking at him and kicking him, and just a certain dominance pretty much was about all they were doing. I reached down, I picked my shotgun up out of the dirt, and I unscrewed my turkey choke and blew it out because it was full of mud. So I blew it out and I screwed it back in, and these birds are all still sitting there. This whole series took about 40 seconds, but it's going to take about 15 minutes to explain. They gobbled. As soon as I shot, they had gobbled. I racked another shell in, and as soon as I racked another shell, they all gobbled again. Well, I had just picked my shotgun up, and I bent down to get my sticks, but I had my shotgun between my sticks and my body, so I wasn't able to just, put my gun back up on top of my sticks and shoot again. I definitely would have known that first time that bird was down. So, I got down, or I started walking down the hill, put my shotgun over my shoulder because I saw him flopping. And it looked like he was still alive at the time. He was laying on his back. He had flopped down and fell down in the ravine, like closer towards me. He fell down the ravine, so I thought he was still alive. So I took my shotgun, put it up over my shoulder, started making my way down this hill, and it's actually old burnt forest, so it's really slimy. It's like Terry, I think he said it previously, it's like walking on snot almost. So
Not that I've ever walked on snot,
Yeah.
but I can only imagine.
So with that, obviously, adrenaline's going. My legs aren't nowhere near as good as healthy as Terry's still. So I'm trying to make my way down. And I had fallen. I think by the time I finally put my shotgun down, I had fallen like 4 times. So being frustrated and excited all at the same time, I saw my bird down there and his legs had almost stopped kicking by this point. So I took my shotgun and I tossed it in a bush right next to me. Well, little did I know, I didn't look around and think about looking around to find out where I put it. So I walked down to the bird, finally get down to him, and I was thinking the whole time, I was like, this bird's going to jump up. He's going to jump up as soon as I get close to him. So I had two things in mind. One, I was either going to try to foot stomp him or boot stomp his head, or I was just going to fall on him and just grab a hold and, try to do something. So I get down to him and I kicked his head and there was nothing, no movement, nothing ever. So I just sat down and I was so excited. I mean, it took a lot of energy to get down there and a lot of energy to try to do what a healthy person would do and, carry their gun and run down to him like most people would, at least run down to the bird. So I got down there and I just sat down on my knees. I started looking at the bird because I even rolled him over and he was belly up and kind of rolled away from me, so I couldn't see a beard and I didn't see spurs on his feet. So immediately I thought I had shot the only hen out of 8 birds, and all the rest of them were toms. And all the rest of them were toms. All of them had the bright green head, or the bright red and blue head and white, just vibrant colors. And I was sure I thought I shot the only dang hen in the group. So immediately I started beating myself up, and I started looking some more, and I saw his beard. And that's when the celebration started. I thought for a second, I was about to go to jail and get fined and all kinds of stuff, because I really thought I'd shot the only hen. It would have been the biggest hen I've ever seen in my life, though, if it was a hen. It was exciting. It took me a while to get back up to my chair, and I was dragging this bird by his neck because I couldn't pick him up because the adrenaline was going. So I couldn't pick him up and throw him on my shoulder, so I started grabbing by the foot, and I was like, I don't want to tear up all his feathers. So then I grabbed him, and then I still hadn't fanned him out yet to look at him or nothing. I knew it was a Jake. He had no spurs. So I grabbed him by the head and was dragging him up the hill and tripped again. Like, I probably fell about 8 times trying to get out of the woods. Well, getting down to him and then getting back up to my chair. But it was awesome. It was a very big sense of accomplishment after having so many near misses and encounters and everything with these birds. It was a very, very big relief of a very big sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
It was exciting. Terry at the time, even when I got back to the camp, he hadn't even known that I had shot a bird yet, because I tossed him up on the back of my chair.
Out.
So once I got up to the camp, I spun my chair around to the back of Terry, or to where I was facing away from him, and I asked him if he'd grab my shotgun. Because my shotgun was in the back with the bird, and he was like, "Yeah, sure. Give me a second." And he turned back around and he looked back again, and then he got all excited too and busted the cameras out.
Yeah, when we separated, I kind of have a feeling there were still turkeys close up in there, and that I wish we had more time, but I knew the other fellows, Paul and Jerry, wanted to get on the road, and we needed to get on the road because, heck, we had a 6-hour drive ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
So that's when I left, and after I left, I was like, God, I sure hope he's able to get everything put away and whatnot. And so I figured, well, I'll go check on him when I get everything together. And of course, I get to the camp, and it'd take forever to get up there in the track chair. Was getting the camp broke down, and I started thinking, gosh, I hope Josh is okay. And about that time was when I heard you coming up the road, and yeah, when I said, well, and he turns around and has that turkey hanging clear across the back of that chair. That was amazing. I was like, oh wow. Shelby, don't touch, please. So it was fun.
We got pictures of him hanging on the chair, and we got pictures of him all fanned out, and a short video right after where, I couldn't really talk about it. I didn't know. I was still too excited, I guess, too enthused, or just at the time.
We had the whole idea that we were going to GoPro and film us actually out there and shooting, but trying to operate a track chair, carry your bow or shotgun, and trying to operate a camera and call turkeys is not easy.
No,
So we pretty much gave on the idea of doing it, filming out in the field. So yeah, it would have been great to have seen that whole experience, but
it would have been awesome. There was one big tom, the dominant tom in that group, I would assume, was standing right on top of my bird, all fluffed up and strutting, just standing right on top of him. And I could just see his head. It's tucked into his feathers and his gorgeous fan. And I had to be the one that shot the only Jake. And there was 8 birds total, including mine. And the 7 others that were there were all toms. I would assume they were all toms. They all had vibrant heads and, full fans. But it is what it is. It was an awesome experience, and I'm glad we got the opportunity to do it. And Paul and Jerry, and even, Paul and Jerry mainly, for one, giving us the opportunity and just being out there and allowing us to be able to hunt out there was an awesome experience as well. Gorgeous piece of property and land to hunt.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that really played into this having such a great weekend. Scott Whitman, who directed us over to Todd Barstad and all of his advice, and actually hooking us up with Paul. And of course, Paul and Jerry for being so hospitable and just making us feel so welcome. And it was that property was just amazing. It's just, even if there weren't any turkeys, it would have been just a great time running around on the chairs.
Yeah,
on that
exploring the terrain, and I definitely put my chair to the limits. I haven't really taken my chair. I've taken it over stuff and through bushes and stuff like that, but climbing some of that stuff we climbed and the ups and downs of the whole terrain for the most part and just cruise around the chairs was just fun. It was awesome. The birds were a bonus, and definitely shooting one. That was definitely that was obviously the icing on the cake. But even without harvesting a bird or anything like that, we still had a great time being able to see all the birds and have a bunch of close encounters within. We probably had 15, 20 birds within 20 yards of us every day.
Time, yeah, and we met. In addition to those folks, we met Justin, Aaron, Todd's brother Eric. We met a bunch of great officers, fish and game officers on the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Lyle on the way home. Yeah, it was great. Overall, it was a great weekend. But guess what? We're going to do it again. We're going to go back to Spokane.
We're going again.
And try one more time. So maybe I'll...
hopefully next time we'll be able to get some more video footage.
Yeah.
Because if it's like what it says, Terry's going to be the only one that's going to be able to shoot for the first day or so. If, according to what, was it Chad? Is that his name?
No, David. David Spurbeck, the officer there. Anyways, there's
game
some bow-only area close to Spokane, but we'll find out more about that. But yeah, so we'll look forward to making another video, but we appreciate you sticking in and watching this one. I know there's pretty long-winded at times, but we appreciate y'all taking the time to watch, and we'll be back at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next about 3 weeks.
We learned a lot, so we're gonna add more calls. We're gonna hopefully have a rifle rest for our chairs and that sort of thing. So, all right, we'll see you soon.
Oh yeah.
Longbeards are gonna die. Longbeards are gonna die. Yeah, longbeards are gonna die.